G'day folks, Toby here. Welcome to another Billing Metals video. Now, I do a lot of metal detecting. I find all sorts of interesting things. I imagine many of our subscribers are metal detector operators as well. Yeah, coins and buttons, gold nuggets, all sorts of fun things. Some of the more unusual things that I've found in recent times, there's been a couple of these detonators. So they're basically a copper tube, open that end. I don't know if you can see that very well in the video. Sealed on that end. They contain mercury fulminate, a very dangerous explosive, toxic obviously as well, being mercury. So these came off a site locally. This one is starting to decompose a bit there. I don't know what sort of chemistry is going on with 150-year-old mercury fulminate or thereabouts, but yeah, I doubt they'd go bang, but there's something to be aware of. They are potentially quite dangerous. Now, I also have a more modern blasting cap here. This way so you can read the writing on it. Explosive danger. That would probably not be a mercury one. It's aluminium, but it's fairly corroded and not looking that great. So that's going to be disposed of. This is all done under a license, legally and safely. So those three old detonators need to go. Much as I would like to have a 100-year-old det in the collection, they're not a safe thing to have. It's also illegal to own them, and well, you can have them with a license, but it's illegal to have them if you don't. And they're not the safest little devices there. So I'm going to blow them up. I figured that might be something that some of our viewers may want to watch. So I'm going to go and put these somewhere safe, and then I'll show you a little bit more about detonators, and then we'll go and make a bang. So those old detonators I just showed you are called plain dets, or fuse dets. So you crimp the fuse in, light the fuse burns down, detonator goes bang, your explosives go bang. Hopefully you've got a deeper shaft or a longer tunnel, whatever you're blasting. These are some more modern detonators here. Again, you need a license in every state of Australia to have these things. I imagine most places in the world. This is an old one. These are old electric delay dets. It's a little bit yuck around the top there, so I'm going to use that to fire off or destroy those other detonators, because I can't really use that on a job because it's, well, one, old, and secondly a bit corroded. Don't know how old this is. I actually think it's probably older than me. I acquired a few of them off someone a while back. If you ever find those little tags, metal detecting around old mines, I have actually found them years ago. I haven't seen one for years, other than these detonators. They're the delays, so 75 millisecond delay for number 3 det. So that's an oldie. We'll blow him up. Just to show you what they look like, if you ever find these, I would strongly recommend not handling them. These are modern instantaneous electric detonators. These are used widely in mining still. Danger detonator explosive written there. And these are non-electric detonators, so they go off with the signal tube. So these are delay dets, delay elements in there, and then the detonators at the end. These are number 8's a 3-second delay. Very, very widely used in mining. You can occasionally find them in malachite, more modern malachite. So take a bit of care when you're digging holes. Obviously you don't want to scratch a coin or put your pick through a nice nugget, but you most certainly don't want to sink a pick into one of these things either. So I reckon we should go outside now and blow up a couple of old detonators. Yeah, so we've got an old aluminium saucepan here. It's kind of a bit burned out at the bottom. So what better use for an old saucepan than to use it for demonstrating the power of detonators. Not actually entirely sure what these are going to do to it, but we're going to tape these ones on here very carefully, because I obviously value my fingers quite highly. There, I might actually put that one down first. So, not going to leave very much of those detonators. Be carefully put those ones in there. And see what this will do. This should quite easily dispose of all of these dets. So you can see the setup there. That more modern copper one will go off and quite easily blow up. the 3 dodgy ones. That should do it. We'll go and put that out behind a bit of cover, put a bit of heavy timber over the top so no shrapnel goes anywhere, and we'll fire it off and see what's left. Shot set up here. I'm going to put a couple of bits of timber over the top just to make sure that it's not going to spray any shrapnel anyway. We'll fire that off and see what it does. Okay, so to have a look at what's left. Got a few little bits of shrapnel in there. You can see why detonators are not something you want going off right next to you. There's a little bit of a mark just in here where a bit's glanced off. Most interestingly, we have a hole. There's no sign of those copper debts whatsoever. I imagine this gooey, powdery stuff here is remnants of something out of those, because I've never seen that stuff from a fire det before, so it's probably some awful mercury compound. No real damage on this one, bit of a stain, shrapnel damage. There's our fired off detonator, and there's a bit of the aluminium one, what's left of it. Still read detonator on there. I shouldn't be getting this stuff on my fingers. It's really all mercury contaminated. I'll clean all this up very carefully. So there you go, disposed of detonators. All that stuff is, that's a piece of the non-stick pan. So it might be a non-stick pan, but yeah, it's not detonator proof apparently. Interesting, you can see just how fast these tiny little shards go. There's some shrapnel damage. Try to get that in the light. They're actually quite deep little divots, so tiny little shards of aluminium have hit hard enough to do that. There's even one has hit one of the little iron rivets there and taken a chunk out. So there you go. That's a disposed of. Bit of a hole in the ground. A few little bits and pieces. That's that. Job done. Okay, thanks folks. We'll be back with lots more videos soon. We're about to do a whole lot of mine exploring, so yeah, keep an eye on the channel. Hopefully you get to see some very interesting mines over the next few months.